Oops.
It's like printed the post-it one.
Did turn on there.
Really, how long it takes me to get the dog.
Did you record them, Sally, so we can hear them during the meeting, just like it's normal? Did you record them and you can play it during the meeting, just so we think we're still in the Zoom call? Your dog's background there?
Before we get started, if you're joining online, I'm going to make a couple quick announcements. Two things. Guys, we're going to get started. If you're joining us online, if you're on a phone or on your computer, if you would go ahead and mute your microphone, please. And then when there's opportunity for feedback, you can either message us, raise your hand, or we'll give you the opportunity. We'll ask for you to unmute and give you a chance to speak at that point. And the other thing is we did hit record, so if you're joining us, staying on this meeting at this point is considered your consent to be recorded and distributed as part of the recording. We posted on YouTube on the town's YouTube page sometime in the next couple days. That's it.
Okay, Karen, would you go ahead and take roll call?
Yep. William Clevenger.
Here.
Bill Githens.
Here.
Ginny Monroe.
Here.
Sally Ricciardi.
Here.
Rich West.
Here.
All present.
Lunch.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first time on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the previous meeting.
May I please have approval of the July 14th regular meeting minutes?
Okay. Motion. Sally seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
You need to mute someone.
May I also have the approval of the June financial reports?
Approve the June financial reports.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Karen, that was Bill Clevenger and Rich West, by the way.
Thank you.
Next, we have Cherry Shores access for the ski fund request. I think you're fine where you're at, or you can come out here and sit if you'd like.
No. I'll put it here. My name is John Hillis. I'm the owner of Chadwick Shores. I'm also a born, died in World Sport Berries. And I've had daughters and grandchildren come up and swim against Culver for a long time. Had a long association with Culver back in the late 40s, 50s, and on. We purchased a place there at Chadwick, I think it was 1994. And at that time, our kids were really young. I think we were the only owners that really had young children. But there was traffic there, and I don't know if you have a copy in front of you of I guess the map. There's a public road that goes between the front part of Chadwick Shores and it divides where the condo buildings are and the lake. And throughout the years, I don't know what the issue is. It seems like the owners become younger and younger, and they're having more kids. And right now, Greg Kemper will talk a little bit after I do. Has three young kids. Two.
Yeah.
And there's another couple that has three, and there's another couple in the And the traffic along this public road has increased dramatically over the years. And so what we want to do is temporarily, I emphasize temporarily, put speed bumps there are two sets of speed bumps from Memorial Day weekend to the end of the Labor Day weekend. So they won't be there in the wintertime when the plowing snow, and they won't be nailed down into the road. And then we would remove them. We don't have, I guess, I sent some pictures, and there are the speed bumps you probably see at Costco or Home Depot. They're about 2 inches high. I think they're 12 feet wide and 6 feet long. And if you're familiar with that area, we would put the speed bumps in on that road as you come in off of West Shore Drive, and then as you go towards the point, put another 6. It would be 2 and 2, because it takes 2 to go across the whole road. And we're asking you folks to approve that, because obviously you need to approve it. It's public road. And we think that it would slow traffic down. Then there are a couple of, not owners of Chadwick, but some of the other houses on the point, they come in there pretty fast. Most of them, a lot of them are slow, and they'll slow down, try to piece it both ways before you cross, but you know how that goes. And we just like to slow that traffic down. Again, I would emphasize, we think these are temporary. You know, we put them in first of Labor Day, or first of Memorial Day, and take them out at the end of Labor Day. So Craig, you want to say something?
Yeah, I guess I should say we've had 4 new kids come. Identify your name. And I'm sorry, Craig Kempler, and I'm also an owner at Chadwick Stores. We've had a couple of turnovers in the condos this year, and as part of that, there's been 2 families with a total of 4 new kids, and I think now we're up to 4 kids now under the age of 8 or under. We, obviously we tell them to look both ways, but the ball goes over or something, and it's tough, I guess. And I guess the other thing is that it sure seems like the frequency of people speeding there has increased quite significantly this year. Maybe that's due to more people beating up or what have you, but these speed bumps can be taken in and out by one person. They're easy and they're temporary. So that's what we're asking for. Quite frankly, this next one.
Has Wayne looked at this, do you know, Jonathan, or?
Yeah,
Bob Porter?
Talked to both about it. I guess, I don't know. Bob, are you on? I didn't see his name. Honestly, I didn't see either. I think Wayne's not going to be on, but I didn't hear from Bob. As far as this particular item, did discuss it with both of them. I think Wayne was more comfortable with it than Bob was, and Wayne, I think, saw the public safety issue in the speeding and thought this might be one way to remedy it. I think from Bob's point of view, if we allow it here, you have to kind of think about what precedent that sets and what other places in town might request it, or how you would go about handling that. I think that was his biggest concern. Mine is just the safety. If something happens because of the speed bump and someone does get hurt or vehicle damage or something, which they shouldn't be traveling that fast that it would, but if the speed bump breaks or what have you, if we allow it, what sort of liability do we have? Those were, I guess, our main concerns. And like I said, Wayne seemed comfortable with it and basically stated if he thought if it did help slow speeds down, he was okay with it.
Do we plow over at Chadwick Shores?
Yeah, I mean, so the road we're talking about is north of the building. It's an unnamed road, basically, but it is a public road, so we do plow that.
Now, I looked at the plat, and one said West Shore Lane.
Yeah, on what you sent me, it did.
There was another West Shore, something else.
Yeah.
West Shore Drive.
As far as our records go, it's just unnamed access road is what, but it is a town road.
And this would only be from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Yes, sir.
Has your association reached out to the other homes in that area and talked to the owners about concern about speeding on those and?
Yes, some of the other owners have signed a petition, and I got an additional signatures here, but these are all Chadwick Shore owners. So that's, yeah, we got the owners down the outlet and then kind of around that curve, I'll call it east of Chadwick Shore. They signed a petition. And I will
Speak up now or do I wait?
Yeah, so we do have someone here, I think, that would like to speak on the other side of the issue. Jenny, I don't know how you want to take it. We
Okay.
may have a few on the call too that may want to address this one way or the
Okay. Sure, go ahead.
Can I?
other. If you would state your name and
Because
address.
I didn't see, I called.
Name and address.
And I live up the lane, down the way this would highly affect us every day. We are new town residents as of this year. We haven't seen anything, no one has come to us, ever that has talked to us about doing that. See, you had mentioned that you have Chadwick Shore names. Do you have the rest of us? No one has come to me from your Chadwick Shores to ask about this.
What I would say is, so I've knocked on 4 doors, and I knock on a door with there's a black Toyota that is particularly egregious on speed, and I knock on that door, and no one answered. And so, I can't say certain I knocked on your door, but and I haven't been
Well,
up.
there's only 4 houses up there, so if no one answered, then you don't have any signatures from us, because
No, I'm not saying I have signatures, I'm just saying I did knock on,
yeah.
on the doors. And
Anyways, regardless, I kind of think that we should have been approached on this. I do know that there are 2 homes that have once a summer, and when I saw all this stuff going on, I approached them and I said, we don't want these speed bumps. We are the ones going to be affected by it. I don't want to have to be going over that with my car every day. And I asked all of the children in those homes to slow down. I don't know if they did or not. I can't, I tried, I did everything from us on that point. No one did come, like I said. It's gotten very busy that's my driveway up at the top. And they do come down that driveway very fast. And we've got the dogs, where the Toyota was. And I don't want the dogs to get hit. You don't want your kids to get hit. I don't want our dogs to get hit. And it's just an issue that I understand, but speed bumps aren't the answer. And we're the ones that have to wait for you guys to unload the cars and wait for you guys to get done visiting. That is a public road. And you have those rocks there that we can't get around. When those speed bumps, we're riding bikes now, when those speed bumps are up, we can't ride on your grass to get around those speed bumps. And I'm not gonna ride my bicycle over that speed bump, and it's, I think, a little bit higher than 2 inches.
Yes.
Put it this way, I don't think a Corvette could go over it.
So have these speed bumps been put out in the past? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and we had to move them, and it is a public road. You know, you don't take your dog and throw a ball across that public road on any other street, but they do there. Well, and then if I don't know if you guys know where it's at, but there is a curve that goes around to head toward the public access, and there's shrubs there. And if there's cars behind me and I need to go this way, I have to be careful watching between these shrubs coming. And you're kind of zipped in there if a car's coming. Well, by the time you get to them, you're going about 10 miles an hour. But it seems that since it is weird, it is unique, it's a different way, but it seems like the people are going fast. What's the speed limit there? 20?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Right, which we don't know, but, and coming down, we're on a hill, I don't even accelerate when we're coming down. You almost have to brake coming down because it is a hill. And it's, we can work together as neighbors, and the people that I think you're thinking of, there's no more traffic because there's no more houses up there. There's just 4 of us up there. And they have had a little bit more because they have children, they have teenagers now, and they are bringing their friends, and they are anxious to get to the lake, to get their weekends going. And I tried for you guys, because I didn't think you guys did. And I went to everybody, and I told them, hey, look, there's kids down there, they've got some dogs down there. During the week when you guys are here, it's not an issue because they're mostly gone. But when they're here on the weekends, slow down, because it is dangerous. And you guys do use that as just a walkway rather than you knowing it's a street. And it's easy to do, because that's where you guys go, to that side.
Okay, so before we go on, is there anybody on the call that wanted to speak on this, just who isn't in the room? I just want to make sure we don't. So Jonathan, from Bob and Wayne's perspective, are there any other safety things that could be put in place, or anything else that could be done from the town's perspective? Do we all need to take a look at this, or?
Yeah, I guess the first thing that came to mind for me was we did purchase that radar sign last year. Those are generally shown to be pretty effective at controlling traffic speeds. I thought that might be an option. We could set it down there for a while. It's been on Lakeshore Drive for a while now.
So what if that just shows us people are going 20 miles an hour and it feels fast because of how the road is being used? I mean, the roads are really tight around the West Shore and the South Shore. So 20 is actually, feels like it's going pretty fast. I mean, I've driven that like 1,000 times. And sometimes I feel like the speed limit itself feels fast. So do we know for a fact they're breaking the speed limit, or is it because of how the road is being used, where you tend to have a lot of families on the road, walking, biking? I mean, I guess, is it being used like a trail, or is it being used like a road?
I would say both, because there are a lot of people that.
Okay.
Can someone from the phone speak?
Get on.
That's honest.
I mean, there is dual access there, right? It's not as if you, regardless, you can't avoid you can always avoid the speed bump. It will take an extra 30 seconds to go the other way around. But,
Would you put them up just on the weekends and take them out during the week, so you don't have to fool with that during the week while nobody's there? Or you guys want to leave them there all the time?
We would like to leave there all.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to go to Councilmember Rich.
And I'm sort of familiar with the area, but I can't picture exactly where you're talking about the speed bumps. But I wonder, is there an opportunity there to put in a crosswalk of some type? Such as we have like in the downtown and uptown areas where, by state law, pedestrians have a right of way and a crosswalk there. And so if some way or another, we could have a crosswalk going across the public street, would that help with some of the traffic control? And I don't know whether it's something that could apply there or not.
Just looking at the map that John sent us, it didn't come out great when we ran it off, unfortunately, but it does look like kind of between the 2 speed bumps that you were proposing, there is the sidewalk from Chadwick Shore that then goes all the way down to the lake, then on the other side of the street, right? Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah, so maybe that would be a good location if you wanted to do that.
I didn't drive that road, I mean, it's not necessarily scale.
Yeah.
And both ends.
But if you connect the sidewalk from where the Shores property is to the lake side of that, I don't know if that would help with any speed control. You could put up one of those, the center, walk caution signs or something like that.
I mean, we do have the 2, neon yellow children with flags.
Right.
And that didn't seem to do anything, but, you know, maybe other options would be stop signs on both ends of it, you know, and so that would, you know, then, you know, that's, you know,
Well, you already
then
have
people
people
can,
as you go down Blind Road.
Right.
There's a curve right there. Before you can get to the, when you come out to look around your houses, you have to come to a stop. Otherwise, you get hit by a car. So you have to come to that stop down there no matter what.
well, there you do, but at the top of the hill, you don't. And that's where people are gaining speed. They're, you know, from the lake down to the main road is where there's, you know, people are flooring it. So if you at least put another stop sign there, you know, I'm somewhat sympathetic to.
There's no room for a stop sign, trust me, and I have put private drive up there, there's no room up there for a
Well,
stop
rather
sign.
than have neighbors fight it out in a
I
council
know, I
meeting,
understand.
I'm gonna suggest that we take a look at this. We start with the sign that you're referring to, Jonathan. Maybe have Wayne and the guys do a little patrolling there and
Right.
monitor what's going on. And we'll get back to you on a solution we think would work. Because, I don't wanna turn this into a, you know, back and forth sort of thing in a neighborhood fight. But it's obviously an issue and we need to address it. So let us take a look. I admit it's been a while since I've walked the lake.
Sure.
I mean, as you can tell looking at me, I don't walk it anymore. But we need to take a closer look at it and get some eyes on it. Because I think, you know, as Rich has suggested, there are other ways to possibly deal with it. And if speed bumps are the way, then maybe we should just put in a permanent one instead of a temporary one. But let us take a look at it and get back to you. And our next meeting will be first meeting in August. What's this? The second Tuesday in August. So give us till August 11th.
Sure.
And we'll assess it.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Next, we have Culver Elementary.
You're not taking any comments from callers?
Sorry,
Pardon? Did someone speak up?
Are you taking comments from people calling in?
I can't hear
I
him.
wanted to know if you're taking comments from people
I
calling in.
asked, are you taking comments from people calling in?
We already gave that opportunity a little earlier, but we will at the next meeting if you'd like.
Okay, I thought you were going to request or allow that. Okay.
Yeah, and certainly get in touch with the town manager because we're going to take a look at this between now and August 11th.
Okay. Well, I'll just make one last final comment. It's 50 to 75 yards, and whether you're going 20 or 15, a child can be hurt significantly at 10 mile an hour versus 20 mile an hour on 75 yards. You're talking 10 or 15 seconds of your life. A child might not have that. So thanks for your time.
All right, so Culver Elementary Lakeshore Drive drop-off zone proposal. I'm assuming Karen Schuman's on the call.
yeah, Karen, are you on?
Yes, I'm here. Thanks, guys. So for the upcoming school year, we're anticipating more parents dropping off students due to them not wanting them riding the school buses with the issues that we have with COVID. So we are looking at creating a second drop-off on the south side of Culver Elementary. Currently, that is parking, and it used to be the Boys and Girls Club entrance. We've moved Boys and Girls Club down to the middle school, so that's not an issue for their parking anymore. And we're proposing just to make that parallel parking instead of how it currently is kind of angled parking. But then that parking area would be closed between the hours of 7:45 and 8:30, and between 2:45 and 3:30, and then 2:15 to, or I'm sorry, 1:45 to 2:30 on Fridays, just so parent pickup can occur on that south side during this school year. We may find in a month that we really don't need it, but I'd rather prepare for the worst than not.
So I think, Karen, I think by ordinance, making that parallel parking is not an issue. I believe it already is, but we would need some signage then to make it no parking during those times. And then you also if I understood it right, we're requesting a handicap spot be one of those, nearest to the door, is that right?
Yes, the sidewalk already dips down in that area for accessibility, so yeah, it would need marked off also.
Would any other signage or street markings be required other than the no parking and the times and then the handicap spot? Because I'm thinking about during the drop-off time, if you need any other indicators that that's what that area is to be used for.
I would think the parking needs painted like parallel.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that would be the only other added thing. And all the way down that street, however far that is permissible.
All along Lake Shore there, along the south frontage of the school.
Correct, yep.
Was there also something on the south curve of Lake Shore Drive there? I thought in one of the write-ups, it was changing the parking or doing something about the parking along the south curve, not the north curve.
Yeah, this is, yeah, so you can see it at least right. All that's in yellow that Karen sent us. So all that would move from the angled parking to parallel.
No, I know, but on the other side of the road, I guess what I'm talking about is this is on the north.
Oh, on the north side.
This is on the north
No,
side of the road.
Was there a request there? Is that the question?
I don't think there's parking on that side.
I-
The residential side, you mean? of the
Yes.
road? Yeah, I don't think we allow parking on that side.
Yeah, I thought,
I'm not sure.
I
I
think
don't think I've
there
ever
are
seen
cars
cars
parked,
there.
there are cars parked there and the curb's not, I don't think the curb is painted. So I mean, there may be some signage that's necessary on that side too.
Yeah.
Was that-
I would think there would be.
Was that part of the request
I thought
then,
it
to
was
make it no
in
parking
one-
on the south as well?
I thought it was in one of the write-ups I read.
Is
Karen,
that,
did you hear that question about the opposite side of, not the school side of the road on the north side, but the south
no,
side of
that
the
was my
road?
mistake.
So there is no one that parks from Slate Street, where the car wash is and on westward. No one ever parks on that side of the street, but they may park west of that towards Main Street. There may be 2 or 3 cars that park in that area, like right across from the AT&T building. But otherwise, I don't think I've ever seen cars park.
Except on like really busy school night events when they have a play or something, I've seen them. During the day, I don't.
Before we put the sewer, storm sewer, it proved, and if you park there, water comes through your windows.
Yeah, maybe that's why people don't.
They may have gotten out of the habit, but I have seen cars there.
Yeah, I know when we done blessings in the backpack and everything in this
Constantly,
area,
but on occasion.
there have been people parked on that south side of the street.
I guess I have
I don't know
a
if it's
question
done
for
regularly.
Karen, if there's sufficient parking elsewhere to take care of people who want to park during the times that they would need that closed as a drop-off zone.
So for the most part, that would be our teachers would park along there, and we're moving our office staff to park in the back of the building. And we are in the plan of changing our current teachers lot to add 6 more additional spaces, maybe 7 or 8. So that would allow for that parking of them inside the school teacher lot. So hopefully it will not be really anybody that needs to park there except maybe a guest during the school day or something after school programming wise.
Okay, okay.
Hey, there you go. I think it's fair like that.
You would obviously be communicating that with your faculty and staff, I assume, anyway. So, okay, any other questions for Karen or discussion points?
So what do we need to do to make this effective?
That was my question for Jim. I think the last change we made on the handicap spot didn't require an ordinance change. I'm assuming this one will, since we're setting specific times, is that right?
Yes.
If we have a consensus, I guess, to move forward with it today, we can get the signs ordered, maybe even get the lines painted, I think, because that'll be before our next meeting, and then have on the agenda the change in the ordinance for the next meeting. We just wouldn't be able to issue tickets until that's been done, but we can move forward and get all the work done, and it'll look good and be ready to go.
So if you're taking a straw poll on it, I would favor of supporting this.
I'd ask for a motion to approve the changes as
Oh, okay.
presented with, and reflected in the ordinance at the next meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Karen, motion was West, seconded by Bill Gibbons, 5-0 on the ayes.
Great, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Karen.
Next, we have utility relief. I have forwarded you guys a spreadsheet, and I don't want to get any decision tonight, but basically that spreadsheet Karen put together, and it shows you the average bills for some of the larger, the sewer water bills for some of the larger companies in town and the schools. So ACPI, Culver Academies, Millers, elementary school, high school, Portside. My thought was that we had done some utility relief on the sewer and water for small business, but we had not done that for the larger businesses. And out of my own curiosity and the fact that I know those bigger businesses got hit really hard, particularly the school, I had Karen put this together, and I'm hoping you guys will study it, ask her any questions you might have about it, and we can take a look at our next meeting, put it on the agenda, and decide if we want to do a utility relief program for the bigger businesses as well.
And I think we should look at the idea, two, I guess, comments on it. One, I wonder if we should look at the schools separately because it's a not-for-profit, basically a government entity as opposed to a business. And the second, and it's just, and I'm sure this was Karen independently, but if you look at that chart, which is very helpful, you can see a huge drop-off in the academy utilization, and also a big drop-off in the elementary school utilization of water. But the high school and the middle school has not changed significantly, and it's more a utilization thing for Karen to maybe look at. Karen, she meant to look at, but I think there would be a good drop-off there too. So.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see that some of the numbers stay very similar and then other ones.
From the businesses,
significant difference.
yeah, from the businesses, you could sort of expect that, but schools, you think there'd be a huge change, as there was for the academy. So.
Yeah. So if you guys will take a look at that and think that one through, we can also resend out the utility relief program we did for small businesses if you want to read that one again. It's been a few months since we looked at that one. But anyway, that's more of an FYI that, coming up in the next agenda. Next, we have an economic development joint workshop. I know Jonathan was trying to survey Chamber, develop Culver Main Street Visitor Center, Plan Commission, CRC, council members. Did you come up with any sort of consensus?
Yeah, I think out of the responses I got, the biggest thing I wanted to get clear was timing, which month, and it did seem like the response was September rather than July or August. So I'll send everyone those responses if that'll help. I believe that was probably most clear of the three. The other questions were a location, and I believe that was a little more divided, but we had a few more say that it's just easier, more convenient if it's here in town. But again, that was, I think, probably 60-40. And then as far as time, day of the week, time of day kind of thing, again, that one was a little more divided. I think middle of the week morning was probably the most common response, but I'll send everybody a summary as we think about when to schedule that. But definitely sounded like September was the preferred time frame. So.
Okay.
You have to take it to the Culver, to the Cove board, but I would suggest that the Cove might be one to donate the use of the space.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be big enough to spread out there. Originally, I was thinking Swan Lake because it's big enough to do this sort of social distancing, but we might even have to split into separate rooms if we get good attendance. But just to poll the council in general, are you guys open to paying to have lunch served as something like this? Potentially a facilitator, so that we as council members can all participate and not have to actually run the workshop. What are your thoughts on that?
I think a facilitator is required. I mean, you've got a huge diverse groups like this. I think you really do need a professional facilitator to make it productive and to get something out of the day. In terms of lunch, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem if we paid for it, but I think also people could pay for their own if they like. I mean, some of the things we've done before with some of these meetings is you can pre-order like from the coffee company and you know it's $8 a sandwich or something, or maybe a $10 fixed fee. Or so my personal thought is I don't have a problem if we pay for it if it's acceptable, and I think we can get the space donated. So the facilitator I think would be the big one.
Sally, Bill?
I wouldn't have a problem paying for it myself, but if, you could ask that question, and if the rest were interested in having it provided and not paying for it themselves, then I wouldn't have an objection to providing the lunch.
Yeah.
And I do think that a facilitator would be a good idea.
Bill, what do you think?
Whatever the majority thinks, fine with me. I think a facilitator is necessary just to keep everything on track.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we can certainly look for a volunteer one, but I think if we hired one that has some background in it, might be ideal, might be worth the investment. So we'll keep doing some research. Jonathan's been kind of on top of this with businesses and schedules and everything. We'll look into facilitator costs and get back to it at the next meeting. Or even ahead of time, we can email it out. All right, I just wanted to get a general feel from the council before we got too excited about finding a facilitator or a venue that costs money. Regional stellar plan update. Jonathan, do you want to update the team? I don't really have any new updates since last meeting.
Just our trail application's our first thing. That was reviewed by NACOG and they didn't have any issues with it. So it's been forwarded on to NDOT for approval and we're waiting for that response from NDOT hopefully in the next month. They'll let us know, but looks good with NACOG, so it's on to NDOT.
And the NDOT project, the CRC is doing the match on that one, right? For
Yes.
Regional stellar. Okay.
That's all I have for regional.
Great, let's move on to town manager's report.
Oh, I have two things under normal stellar if you want to.
Sure, go for it.
We had a sprinkler system test and training this morning at the Beach Lodge. And then Rich, Amber, and I have a meeting with Steve Park, our architect in Michiana, tomorrow to try to finalize the remaining punch list items and hopefully close out so we can finalize the last invoice and get that finished up. So we'll meet tomorrow with our group. And then we have two semi-annual reports for our two Okra projects to approve. Shannon McLeod, our grant administrator, prepared both of those, and I sent them with my attachments before the meeting. This is something in the past, Okra used to require the council president to sign. A few years ago, they dropped that requirement, but in our last audit, the State Board of Accounts encouraged the council to officially approve it. So Karen will be very happy if we have a motion to approve the Okra semi-annual reports as presented.
Motion made by Sally. Karen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Bill Clevenger. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Sure.
On to my report. First, I wanted to introduce everyone to Jeff Kuhn. He's on the call here today. Our EMS hiring committee met last week, and we recommend to the council that we make a conditional offer to Jeff Kuhn for the position of Culver Union Township EMS Director. So,
Hey, Jeff.
Welcome.
Hi there, thank you. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to bring some things to Culver and Culver EMS and show you what I'm about. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you. I'm also looking forward to working with a lot of the stakeholders within Marshall County and the emergency services. And working with your local town marshal, local county leaders from EMA and everything to make sure that Culver is represented well within the county and well within the district for Indiana. So I look forward to working with all of you.
Thanks, Jeff. So we need an official motion to hire Jeff at the hourly rate of $23 an hour, I think.
$23 per hour. Yes.
Do I have a motion to please approve?
I move.
Second.
Motion by Bill Clevenger, seconded by Rich West. All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome aboard, Jeff.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you. Back to you,
All
Jonathan.
right. For utilities, so we did install, or we moved forward with the handicap sign at Winfield and South Plymouth Street. Jim said we did not need to change the parking ordinance. There was a note in there that if council erects such a sign, it's basically enforceable. So then an update for our South Main and Davis Street stormwater and paving. The construction contractor felt that the existing NIPSCO gas lines were a conflict with the project. And so they've been coordinating with NIPSCO to move those lines so they can move more quickly, basically. So the current timeline on that is for them to start in mid-August, according to the last report we received from them. And we're just watching that because we don't want to get in trouble with NDOT. They have a deadline for completion, which I believe is in October. So we're just trying to keep up on that, and they've been made aware that, you know, that's our deadline and we need to keep it moving forward. So that's the timeline they're looking at right now. I covered, one other EMS item. You know, since we've been without a director for about 10 weeks now, we did have a shift last week that we weren't able to get covered with a paramedic. So we did let our local EMS coordinator and the district manager know, and we had just basic coverage for that shift. But it looks like my last conversation with Scott Erickson, our interim director, was that we have the first 2 weeks in August covered, and we have some help on the way. Thank you, Jeff. And I just wanted to let everyone know, in those conversations with our EMS district manager, they did encourage us to go ahead and apply for a waiver because of that. And they're aware of it, and the coordinator basically just said, you know, as long as we're making progress, and I updated them on our whole hiring process, and I told him that hopefully tonight we have some good news for him. He was fine with it and he's going to recommend it get approved. They just want to make sure that it's not an ongoing problem and we're taking steps to address it. So. And then the building we're in tonight, the library, I think at our last meeting, we had approved a special event for a cemetery walk. They let us know that that has been canceled. And that's all I have.
Great, thank you, Jonathan. So I'll skip EMS on the department head reports because we don't want to put Jeff in that position yet. I'll go on to, Ken Vandenputty, are you on the call for the fire department, or is anyone else on the call for fire?
Yeah, Ken's on.
Hi, Ken.
How we doing?
Speak loudly.
I just got two things. One is the aerial update. Talked to the truck committee last night, and we're looking at about 3 weeks. They're waiting any day for an invite for them to go up to Minnesota and do the final inspection. Once they do that, depending on what they find, they should be able to pin down an exact delivery date. But if you go on our Facebook page, you can see updated pictures looking real nice. And the other thing is just FYI for the council, We're coming up on gear replacement. So they coordinated a couple companies to come and give us gear demonstrations. So we have one that we've kind of selected, and I'll get, since Karen's out this week, I don't want to rush this. I'll get all those details together, the quotes and all that, and try to get that prepared and present that at the next town board meeting.
Great.
But other than that, all is well.
Okay, thank you, Ken.
Okay.
We'll go on to the police department if Wayne's not on the call though, right?
I haven't seen
Okay. So next we'll go on to the park department. Amber, are you on the call?
Yes, I am. Not much. Just our next and last concert in the park is next Saturday, August 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. And then other than that, I did complete my lifeguard instructor certification last week. So I just wanted to thank you guys for allowing me to complete it.
Hey, Amber, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
How many other people passed the class?
I was the only one that passed the class. Thank you for your support.
Good job.
Congratulations, yeah.
Thank you.
We're proud of you.
Amber, I have a question.
Yes.
What's the status of our cameras down in the park?
They are up and running, everyone.
Whoa.
Yeah. We have to get the one camera that is located on the West Pavilion. The connection isn't strong enough there. So I'm gonna reach out to 4-Way tomorrow and hopefully get them scheduled out here. Other than that, though, the 3 cameras which face A pier, a little bit of B pier and C pier are up and going. So yeah, we have access here at the Beach Lodge to survey that.
That's great. Is that a system we could add cameras to?
Yes. So the plan is hopefully to expand that. To our current system, we can add 2 more cameras to our camera head. If we would like to do more, we have to get another like main system, which costs a little bit more, but we can add 2 more to the current system at not such an expensive fee.
Okay. I just wondered with some of the vandalism that we've had recently, if we might want to add some cameras that are taking pictures of not just the pier area and the shoreline.
Yeah, I know Jonathan and I have been discussing looking at those 2 additional cameras, hopefully getting them next year for the concession stand area and one to overlook the beach area. So that's the plan as of right now, but we'll definitely revisit that next year.
Great. Anything else, Amber?
That's all. Thank you.
Amber, this is Rich. Just a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm communicating the cameras to the boat owners and the people who rent dock space there. I know a number of people have been concerned about that. I think it would be an important communication, and I think you'd get a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, and I do have a emailing list for all of them. My plan is to let them all know it's up and running. I want to get that last camera going before I do though, but yeah, I'll certainly let them know once it's all up and going. That's a good point.
Good, thank you.
Great, thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
Auditor, are you on the call for anything on utilities? Don't see his name up there. Okay. Boards and commissions, is anybody on the call for the Plan Commission or BZA? All right, we'll move on to Redevelopment Commission.
Nothing really to report. Our next meeting is Monday, the 17th of August. It will probably be a Zoom call, or not Zoom, a Microsoft Teams call, I'm sorry.
And we have the meeting Wednesday for
Yes.
overlapping tax.
I'm sorry,
districts.
yes, thank you for reminding me. That, to meet the state requirement that the redevelopment commission provide information in a presentation to the overlapping taxing bodies we have a call, as Jonathan said, scheduled for Wednesday of this week.
So I believe that's open to the public, but it's really designed for folks like the library or school corporation or anyone, an overlapping tax district.
Right, and it will be, actually, it will be showing the video that we took last year of the Baker Tilly presentation, and that will be a YouTube video that also then the different groups, if the library board wants to take it back to the library board to show it to their whole board, they can. So.
Okay. Is this required annually?
It is now. Yeah, last year was the first year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is good that we taped it. Because,
yes.
On that meeting, is that Microsoft Teams?
Yeah.
Yes. And it's not a meeting of the redevelopment.
Last year, I think, didn't you even just do one or two yourself, Rich?
We actually did it at the meeting of the redevelopment commission last year.
Yeah.
But the requirement isn't that it has to be a regularly scheduled meeting of the redevelopment commission. The redevelopment commission just has to I guess, conduct it or have the hearing. Yeah. So it's not an official meeting of the redevelopment commission.
I think I sent all the members an optional invite, but if I didn't and you want one, send me a reminder.
So that's the only thing that we discussed right now, because you're gonna have a quorum of CRC members possibly?
There's no business on the agenda, it's simply the presentation.
Okay.
Bring your own popcorn.
Sounds like a joy.
Mm-hmm.
Tree Commission, anyone on the call from the Tree Commission?
I thought I saw, was Kevin on? Or Mike?
I don't see.
No. I know they did meet last week and they're looking at removals for this year.
Okay.
And I believe they'll have a proposal probably in the next 2 weeks and look at, I think their big focus is going to be removals of some large dying or dead trees. So that was most of the focus of the meeting. And again, that was their first meeting of the year and it's on our YouTube channel if anybody wants to watch it.
Okay. Clerk's report, Karen Heim, are you on the call still?
I still am here. I have 4 claims for your approval that are over $1,500. The first is one of the sidewalk program applicants, and that's for $5,200. Thomas Excavating for $5,594 to replace a fire hydrant. Wyland, Humphrey, Clevenger, and Cerisi for $8,272.83, and those are for legal. Legal fees, and then Miller Insurance Group for $11,960, and that is for the property insurance for the fire department.
Okay, do you have a motion to approve the claims over $1,500?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that was Bill Giffen's motion. Rich West seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
None were opposed, Karen.
All right, thank you. And then the only other thing I have is that I circulated salary and budget information on Friday, and the meeting notices have been posted. If you have any questions or need additional information, just let me know and I'll get it out. I'll do my best to get it to you.
Great, thanks for getting that out so quickly, Karen.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll go on to attorney's report.
Good, just 2 things. The Simmons of Ipso property is scheduled for hearing on August 11th. Kind of see what Kathy Russell is doing, so we'll see if there's something going on that. And second, I really don't have much more to report from 415 Lakeshore other than the report that I circulated a while back. I meant to look to see if your sign was still there on my way in, and I didn't. I forgot.
It has lasted a while. Last I checked, it was still there. So.
Okay. So but we're waiting out the publication period on that before we're taking the next step on that. So that's all I have.
Great, thank you, Jim. I am assuming no one's here for a utility shut off or ordinance violation. Citizen input. We have a couple citizens in the room. Do either of you have anything tonight? Does anyone on the call have citizen input? It's quiet out there. All right. We'll move on. Council issues. Rich, council issues?
I would like to suggest that we engage the services of a a legal team to explore some potential project that the council has been discussing. And I believe we have a proposal from McKinney and
Bose, McKinney, and Evans.
Bose, McKinney and Evans. For a fee not to exceed $5,000. Not sure the exact wording of the proposal. We're
Capping that proposal at 5,000.
capping the proposal at 5,000, yes. And not to exceed an amount of $5,000.
All right. Is there a second to Rich's motion to hire Bose, McKinney, and Evans for their assessment proposal?
I second.
Okay. Rich and Bill, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, Karen, 4 ayes, 1 opposed. The opposed is Bill Githens. Did you get that?
I did, thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Any other council issues, Rich?
No.
Bill Githens, council issues?
On your walkthrough tomorrow with Michelle and everybody,
Mhm.
the 2 downspouts on the north side of the building, have they been tiled in yet, or are they gonna be tiled in?
I don't think so.
To prevent water from seeping down in the basement again?
I believe the way the collection system worked was they redid that whole front, did the tarring or whatever that waterproofing coverage is over that lower portion of the building. And then I believe it is designed to run through there. And then there's a collection pipe underneath there, if I remember correctly, a perforated pipe underground there that runs
Like a
over.
French drain or something?
Yeah, it runs over to the west side of the building then and goes down and around.
Because I know there are other downspouts.
Yeah, the other ones are all,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, the other ones are all connected directly, but those 2, yeah, there's waterproofing there and then just a perforated pipe, I think, that goes and connects along to the east side. I'll look at it again before that meeting. Yeah.
Sally, council issues?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Bill, council issues? And I currently have no council issues, so I'll honor a motion to adjourn claims.
So moved.
Second.
A motion made by Bill Githens, seconded by Sally Ricciardi, all in favor?
Aye.
If anyone wants any hand sanitizer, I have some. It smells like lemons.
It was much better when you were on the truck and just put.
Yeah.